a couple meetings, and I'm going to talk about mixing the live stream mix for your church. Now we're all doing it. It seems like everybody's um, basically, as we go into lockdown, more and more churches are doing this live stream thing. We started our journey, I don't know, back in March or April. It's been a long. Anyway, we are working on an X32. We are working in Logic, and we're getting closer and closer every week. Last week, we worked on our drum mics. This week was kind of a strange week because we had to redo all of our drum stuff, and then we had, I can't remember what happened this week. We're just really low on people. We've got our worship leaders back in town now, so this week he's coming back. But we have been we've had some people out because of COVID. Man, I mean, it's pretty tight. It's low. So this week, Emily was on the live stream mix. I was on stage, so that was not as great. That's what I was on stage, and Emily was on the live stream mix, and that's what I'm going to focus in on today. So basically, what happens when you put your vocals too loud? Well, here's what happens. I've got two different mixes. We are recording and live streaming both services, so you can hear one of the services was better than the other, especially on this last song that I was singing on, Amazing Grace. And that's Emily, and then this is me over here. Here's Derek. Oh, you can't even see me anyway. It doesn't matter if you can see me anyway because I've got my yellow glasses on. People are probably going to be like, what is up with that doofus with the yellow glasses? Anyway, I'll tell you about that later. It has nothing to do with anything that you would think. Anyway, so the yellow glasses. And so here I'm singing in the 9 o'clock service, I believe, is the service that the vocals are really loud. And when you put the vocals too loud in the live stream mix, they're going to pop out. They're pretty dry and they're pretty loud. Now, I wasn't back there. I didn't pre-tweak this. We had some technical difficulties this morning trying to get stuff going and rolling. And on the live stream mix, I didn't have a chance to do a overall test mix of the overall thing. So that's what happened. And so Emily was kind of like going cold, and she just turns it on, and it was kind of causing her some trouble. Anyway, when you put the vocals too loud in the live stream mix, they're number one. These are a little bit dry and they're a bit loud. So to me, they sound gross. That's just me, but that's me singing. Anytime you put the vocals way over the band in the live stream mix, what happens is you lose the feeling of the whole band. The whole band is sort of down there and below, and you've got it loud enough to hear the vocals, but then the band is really soft. And that's what happens, and that's what happened here in this part. Let's listen to it. And then this week is going to be crazy. It's already Tuesday, but I've got a lot of stuff going on, and so I'm going to be rolling out some stuff. I'm going to be doing some multi-stream stuff. So make sure you share this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Make your comments there. I will see if I see any chats there. Here, listen to this. This is vocals too loud, 9:30 a.m.
My hope secures. How will my shield and portion be as long as life endures? My chains are gone. I've been set free.
All right, I may be wrong. Let me listen to this one. Let's see what you think. Here's the same section on the second service.
His word.
See that was, I tricked y'all because that was the good part. That was the good mix with the vocals in there, in line, in my mind, with the snare drum. So you get the snare, bah, and the vocals right there together. That's what I'm trying to work with my guys on.
My God, my Savior, the blood, His mercy reigns, unending love, amazing grace.
So you see there's a little bit of depth in the vocals there. I mean, there's a little bit of roominess to the vocals. They're in there. The band is loud enough. The drums are, you can feel the drums. You can hear the snare. You can get everything kind of in there. Now the acoustic and the bass could be a little louder. This mix wasn't like our best mix ever, but like I said, technical difficulties kind of threw us for a loop on the live stream this week. It's not like anybody would notice this but me, and so of course I would bring it up to you on Facebook Live. But this is the purpose of this, is listening to this. Now listen to these vocals with the same band. The next service, this was the first service. I got them mixed up in my thing. So this is the early service, and it was when we went back and listened in between. We said, whoa, the vocals are too hot. Okay, so listen to the vocals too hot on this, and I'll try to back up here for my verse here.
How precious did that grace appear.
I keep throwing you the wrong one. Here it is. Here's the. That's all right.
Stand together and say, my chains are gone. I've been set free.
So 10:30 sounds pretty good. Pop this over. Here's 9 o'clock.
The hour I first believed. Let's stand together. My chains are gone.
Let's see here.
You are
There they are.
forever mine.
See right there at 50. So we're at 54 minutes. That's why I knew these vocals were too loud. That's at about 54 minutes. They get super loud. Maybe she was mixing with the mixer. Maybe whatever. She's trying to level stuff out. Things were changing on this live stream mix at 9 a.m. In her head, it was not sounding right. She knew. She was like, oh man, it was not right for her. Now, nobody, like I said, I can pick on this all I want to. It's fine. It went out. It's fine. We served the purpose of the stream mix. Now I'm talking as a producer and as a tweaker here, so it's fine. Most people will just be like, yeah, it sounds cool, whatever.
My chains are gone. I've been set free.
Now the vocals still have a little bit of reverb on them. They're still a little bit roomy, which is good. We've got a room mic in there. We've got some reverb, but they're not great. They're really kind of hot. Let's look at back in the beginning because we did Lion and Lamb, which I think is a great song to start with. There's let's see. Did Lion and the Lamb. I think they turned off our music on Facebook Live. See, they did. Either they turned our music off or our music was off because that's the problem. We got a little bit of a copyright unk on Facebook. They were like, you don't own that music. Part of it was either we had our stream off and also Facebook said, we recognize that song, so we muted it. Whatever. Now this is his vocals are too soft here, and then they're going to get louder, but listen to this. He's gonna turn his vocals up right here, and it's gonna get better, I think. There we go.
The Lion of Judah, he's roaring with power and fighting our battles. And every knee will bow.
That's a pretty good mix right there.
Before him, he will bow. Our God is the Lamb that was slain.
Yeah.
For the sin of the world.
That's right. That's in there.
His blood breaks the chains, and every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. And every knee will bow before him. So open up the gates, make way before the King of
Well, anyway, I like this mix. By 10:30, she had her feet under everything we talked about. We tweaked a little bit. So yeah, by 10:30, yeah, I mean this is a good mix. And this vocal mic is Derek's mic is right. This at least in the on the live stream sounded pretty good. I want to tweak it in the room a little bit. It's a little bright in the room, but I think but I'll be back there this week and do that. Yeah, this is pretty good. This has got room. The guitars have some verb on them. The guitars, I put a lot of reverb on my guitar tone this week, a lot of gain. Okay, I've learned that in the overall. If you feel like you got too much gain, it's probably okay. So when I was playing at back at Fairhaven, that's what the guy would always like, give more gain. And I felt like I was going back to 1980. I was getting really high gain, but really when you're in the mix, sometimes you need that higher gain to cut through. Not necessarily to play power chords, but if you want it to sound right. So I use tight compressor, a compressor, and I use a pretty high gain on the guitar part because then it kind of, I don't know, it sizzles through and it kind of comes through the mix. And then a lot of reverb on everything. Really, the more reverb, the better. The worst part is having it too dry. One more thing. The background vocals on this mix are really good. They're really tight underneath. They're right where I would put them. They're tucked right underneath Derek. Emily's voice is tucked right underneath Derek. Brilliant job on that part.
Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Our God is alive, the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with power, he's fighting our battles. Every knee will bow before him. Our God is the Lamb that was slain for the sins of the world. His blood breaks the chains, and every knee will bow before the Lion and the Lamb. Every knee will bow before him.
Bass drum is snappy. It's snappy.
Who can stop the Lord Almighty? 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 Sing it out. Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord Almighty? Who can stop the Lord? Our God is a lion, the Lion of Judah. He's roaring with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like this mix. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I'm thinking it's good. If the vocals are too loud, if you took this exact mix, which I like, I mean, there's multiple things I would change on this, just as we building our system. For one, being the snare drum is too smappity. The snare drum is too smackety. It's we tuned it, we worked on it. We didn't have enough time in the live stream. I didn't listen to it in the live stream. I would have put a little more, maybe compressor, maybe reverb. I might have moved that mic around a tad bit on the snare, because the snare is just like, it's okay. And we're working on that. Okay. The other thing is what I like about this mix. I like my guitar tone. I like when we come back into the "Our God is alive." We hit that big G. That's a big open G chord. Now a lot of the worship guys are only playing real high stuff, like they're playing up high inversions, and that works if you have a couple different people. If you had a keyboard player and you had another guitar player, we've got nothing here. We have an acoustic and an electric. This whole band right here, everything you hear is an acoustic and electric. We have the bass player and the drummer. That's fine, but you have just one acoustic, one electric. This is one of my favorite band setups personally as an electric player, because there's nothing going on. It leaves me room, because I like to play like this, to play rhythm and lead together. So sometimes I'm playing really big, washed out, open G chord. It's filling up the whole space. Nobody's getting in my way because there's nobody up there. And then the acoustic player's just driving the rhythm, and then I have my freedom to do that. If I want to pop up and do a leader, if I want to dynamically, like on a verse, I'll pop it to the high part, maybe into the minor pentatonic shape, and I'll just sort of play some notes up there using some verbs. So this is the way I grew up playing. One electric guitar player. Now, if you have two electric guitar players, if you have three electric guitar players, that's great too. Then you can have one guy just play one high note, and one guy could be playing bar chords, one guy could be playing stuff. But we don't have that, and I don't see that coming anytime soon. We're small, and with COVID and everything, a lot of times when I get thrown on stage, it's just me, one electric guitar player. That's it, one. So I adapt my style to the moment. So yeah, there's no problem here, but I love that big washy, when it comes back in, or wah, it's not a thing that's like up high. It's not that like annoying. That can get annoying when it's all by itself. When you hear that kind of a part, like when you're on listening to Elevation and stuff like that, and you see those guitar parts, they're doing that really high stuff. Just one guitar player, but there's like 3 or 4 other guitar players and 2 or 3 keyboard players all melding together. If you look at this stage, you look at that stage, that's it. There's a guy strumming some acoustic, That's me playing the electric. That's Derek. I call him a guy. There's a dude on acoustic and an electric. That's it. Everything you hear. And then we have one small pad that's just going whoa in the room. Whoa. It just creates a little bit of fill, but it doesn't play for you. It isn't a track like when the track plays for you parts. It's not that. We just use an actual like a room pad, just a tonic. It's almost like just playing keyboard, just one keyboard, but it's not all the parts, not all this fun stuff. So when you hear the different parts of this song, it's just on the electric. And I should make a whole nother video about this. This video started out with the vocals are too loud on one of the mixes, so I'm going to let it be like that. But we'll listen out this last song. You can kind of hear where I switch between electric and lead, and you can listen to see how good she has mixed these vocals. And we're on our way to a couple other live videos today and this week. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I'm going to be talking about our new bass drum mic that I just ordered yesterday. Tyler will be happy to know I ordered the bass drum mic. And also some of the other stuff we're doing, which is a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff.
A stranger wandering from the fold of God, he to rescue me from danger, interposes precious blood.
Yeah, see, and I think I hit a doozy of a wrong note here. Maybe I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you. Yeah, no, I didn't. It was the first time through. Man, I really botched it. So I'm sorry. I hit this wrong. I hit this one wrong note. Oh, it's so embarrassing, but nobody cares. Just me. And maybe a couple other people. They're like, well, what is that guy doing up there? That's small band. You can get a good result, especially if you can really, Derek and Andy and Matt are holding down just a really great foundational rhythm, leaving me just a great fun time because I can play some open stuff, I can do some picking, I can go up, I can do some like double stops on the high parts. I can do any of that stuff and not worry the band's going to keep going. So I'm kind of like the icing on the cake on the guitar here in this scenario. And then if it's like really rocking or grooving, then I can do power chords. I did a couple power chords, not very many. But you want to create all kinds of different tones with that. The vocals were in the right place. Make sure you get your vocals in the right place. If your vocals are in the wrong place, then the mix begins to sound dead and empty because the band is so low. All right, guys, check out. I'll have some more segments today. I'm going to be talking today about some more stuff. Also going to be talking about multi-streaming with Caster, one of my new friends from caster.io. So stick around. I'll see you.